All right, so you've heard the word mindfulness thrown around everywhere, right? But what if I told you the original idea, this concept called Sati, is way more powerful than just, paying attention? Today, we're going to dig in and unlock what feels like a hidden tool for your mind.
Yeah, so we usually hear Sati translated as mindfulness or even memory, but honestly, those translations are kind of flat. They totally miss the point. They don't get at the active, functional power of what this concept is really all about. So, let's go straight to the source and figure out what Sati was actually designed to do.
Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we've got to go back, way back to the language it came from, which is Pali. And by breaking the word down into its original parts, its building blocks, we can see what it's really for. And trust me, it's a whole lot more exciting than just paying attention.
So, first things first, forget about memory. This isn't about looking back. The original meaning of Sati is all about the now. It's your mind's ability to basically capture your experience in real time in high def, as it's happening. Think of it like a live data feed of what's going on inside you. And the coolest part? The secret is hidden right inside the word itself. You've got sa, which means with, and ti, which means to stay. Put them together, and what do you get? Staying with. Sati is literally the power to stay with whatever you're experiencing, to be right there with it, instead of getting dragged off by a random thought or distraction.
And listen, this isn't some passive, zone-out kind of thing. It's the exact opposite. It's about logging in. Sati is like getting administrator privileges for your own brain. Suddenly, you can see all the programs running in the background, every thought, every feeling, and you get to decide what to do, instead of just letting them run the show.
Okay, that's the theory, right? But to really get a feel for this, to bring it to life, let's walk through 4 modern analogies that just perfectly show what Sati does in the real world. First step, the dashboard. Think about it. You glance at your car's dashboard to check your speed, your fuel, right? Sati is exactly that, but for your mind. It's your internal diagnostic tool. It lets you check in and just ask, whoa, is that anger I'm feeling? Or, is my focus tanking right now? It's a live reading of your internal state. Okay, so Sati is monitoring things. But what happens when the road gets bumpy? When things get a little turbulent inside? Well, that brings us to our second analogy, the gimbal. You know, that device that keeps a camera steady? If you try to film while you're running, it's just a shaky mess. Sati is your mental gimbal. It stabilizes your focus when life gets chaotic, letting you see things clearly instead of getting tossed around by every emotion. Sati also works as your mind's internal security checkpoint. It's like that X-ray scanner at the airport, flagging any, let's call it harmful mental baggage as it's coming in. It's that part of you that goes, whoa, hold on, that's a huge wave of jealousy, or hey, there's that obsessive thought again. It lets you catch it right at the gate before it takes over everything. And for our last one, think of Sati as the fix for mental buffering. You know how annoying it is when a video keeps freezing and loading? Our minds do that too. Sati is what smooths out the stream. It makes sure your awareness of right now is clear, sharp, and continuous, so you can actually experience life, not just wait for it to load. So there you have it, a dashboard, a gimbal, a scanner. It's this whole powerful toolkit. But what's the point of it all? What's the big payoff? Well, it's huge. This is the key to breaking free from our own autopilot mode, that automatic, and let's be honest, sometimes destructive programming we all run on.
See, most of the time, our minds are just running this super fast automatic script. A feeling pops up. Let's call it Vedana, like a little spark of irritation. And then boom, almost instantly, an impulse to do something follows. In the old text, that's called tanha, craving. It's that urge to fire off a snarky reply. It's a total knee-jerk reaction, and it happens all day long.
This is where Sati comes in. Sati is the break in that system. It's the circuit breaker. It creates this tiny but absolutely crucial pause between the feeling and the automatic reaction. Just a split second, but in that little gap, that's where all your power is. That's where you find your freedom. Because in that pause, everything changes. You go from being a puppet on a string, just yanked around by your feelings, to being the observer. Your inner voice shifts from, I am so angry, to something more like, oh, okay. I notice the feeling of anger has shown up. You can see it, you can acknowledge it, and then you get to choose what to do next.
And that is the real game changer. That one simple act of noticing, that tiny little pause, it's the difference between being run by your old programming and becoming the programmer yourself.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Without Sati, you're basically trapped in this loop of unconscious reaction. You're a robot running a program. But with Sati, you unlock conscious choice. You get to decide. You can act with intention, with a bit of wisdom, instead of just reacting.
So, to wrap this all up, what have we learned? Sati is so much more than mindfulness. It's a functional tool. It's your real-time monitor, it's your mental stabilizer, and most importantly, it's the brake that stops you from living on autopilot. It's the key that unlocks your ability to choose.
And that really brings this whole thing back to you. Because this isn't just some abstract idea, right? It's a skill. It's something you can actually practice and get better at. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What's one of your automatic reactions that you're going to try to just monitor first?